So apparently, fairy smut is dumbing down literature. Yep, that's a real headline. Hey guys, this is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. The Telegraph just ran an article basically asking whether romantasy, you know, fae, morally gray men, shadow daddies, and open door spies is cheapening culture. And I have thoughts, so let's talk about it. And today we're talking about a spicy little debate. Is romantasy ruining literature? Or are we just uncomfortable because women are literally overpowering and dominating the publishing industry right now? So the argument is, the genre is booming. It relies heavily on tropes. The prose can be dramatic or feverish. It prioritizes romance or spies over literary depth. And because it's so popular, supposedly it's lowering standards. Now, I'm not going to pretend there aren't repetitive books in the romantasy genre. There absolutely are, but here's my first issue. Every single genre actually recycles tropes. For example, crime thrillers can be a brooding detective with a drinking issue. For literary fiction, it can be about an emotionally detached protagonist staring out at a rainy window. Action movies, duh, explosive and daddy issues. And for classic epics, of course, a hero's journey. What else? But when fantasy romance does it, suddenly is the collapse of civilization. Interesting, right? Let's be honest, romantasy is written mostly by women. It's largely consumed by women, and it centers female desire. And historically, to be honest, anything that women love gets mocked. Boy bands? Mocked. Twilight? Of course it's mocked. Book talk in general? Duh, people will always mock it. But when men obsess over novels about war or hyper-violent video games, it's labeled as art or culture. That double standard is very loud. One question that actually triggers me the most is all romantasy literally masterpiece material? And the answer is no. It doesn't have to be. Now let's zoom out. Fantasy as a whole was once considered unserious. People said similar things about The Lord of the Rings when it first came out. When it first gained popularity, they were saying that it was escapist, indulgent, and not literary. Now, it's foundational to modern literature studies. Genres evolve, reception changes, and escapism has always had a place in storytelling. Now, here's what I agree with critics a little. The genre is very overly saturated right now. When something blows up, the market floods. There are absolutely books that prioritize spice over plot, lean on tropes without developing a character, and feels rushed due to rapid publishing cycles. And that's valid criticism. But that's not unique to romantasy though. Look at the thriller waves after Gone Girl, the dystopian floods after The Hunger Games. Publishing chases trends. That's capitalism and not cultural collapse. But to be honest, romantasy has revitalized indie bookstores, built massive reading communities, and encouraged young women to read more books. That is definitely not the death of literature. Romantasy is actually a gateway to start reading more fantasy, mythology, and even classic literature. Is every romantasy book groundbreaking? No. Is some of it repetitive? Yes. But are there well-written, emotionally resonant books in the genre? Absolutely. The issue isn't that romantasy exists. The issue is oversaturation, and I think that's what makes people uneasy. If dragons and morally great men are getting people to read again, I'm not mad about it. Literature isn't dying, it is literally shifting. And if anything, it's becoming more female-led and emotionally centered than ever. So tell me your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Is romantasy lowering standards? Or is it just latest moral panic over what women enjoys? So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like hot takes and book chaos. Bye, thanks for listening.